Hey guys, welcome to the updated version of how to color dishes and cookware. This is an interactive tutorial coloring session. All right, guys, I'm very excited to bring this to you. I got a request from an amazing subscriber that asked me to provide some type of downloadable coloring page so that you can follow along with me interactively when I do certain tutorials. So I got the bright idea, hey, I can draw these things out myself of things that I enjoy coloring and that I figure you may enjoy learning how to color, and I can just draw those things and put them on a downloadable page and upload them to like Facebook so that you can download these and color right along with me on this tutorial. So I have this tutorial page, this interactive coloring tutorial page, available for all of you on my Facebook groups, on both my Facebook groups that will be in the description below. You can find the PDF version of this coloring page, or you can find the photo of this coloring page. You can print it out either way you feel comfortable. You can find those in the files section of the coloring group of Budget Friendly Coloring Club. And you can also find it in the albums section. So you can download it, print it out, and we can do this interactively together. Isn't that awesome, guys? Thank you so much for all of your suggestions and wonderful, beautiful words that you've given me. But let's not ramble on any longer. Let's get into this tutorial. All right, guys, so you have seen from my previous video, me color this, and I will link that above. I colored this page of how to color dishes. So you already saw how I colored these dishes, and I told you which Prismacolor pencils that I was using, and we colored them together. Now I have this interactive coloring page drawn out that you can color along with me once you go and download it. All right, guys, so that's how the page will look. So I'm going to use this plain version that I have here, drawn out and everything. It's a little dirty from my pencil work, but that's okay. Ooh, okay. Anyway. All right, guys, so if you are interested in any of the color schemes on this page, you can go back to that video and get those color schemes. But I'm probably going to be using completely different color combos on this page. Okay, guys, so are you ready? I am so ready. Before I jump into the tutorial, I just want to show you a few examples of where this tutorial will be useful. You know my favorite, absolute favorite coloring book, Color at Home. It's my favorite coloring book, and look at all of the dishes that you have to color. A lot of the same kind of dishes that's on my tutorial page is here, and there are stacks and stacks and stacks of them on this page. So you'll learn how to color that. And also, books like My Colorful Town has a lot of dishes and cups and bowls and jars and pictures. It's just so much you can learn here. There's a teapot back there. And don't worry, I'm going to have the next video coming up teaching you how to color windows and glass and mirrors. So you'll be able to color these teacups and then go to the next tutorial and color the glass that the teacups are behind in the cupboard. So many books, guys, have dishes and different things in them. This is Home Sweet Home by Teresa Goodrich. And look at here. You have plates here. You have jars here. You have teapots and cups, coffee cups. You have all these things that I'm going to teach you how to color today. And then there's another page, this page here, where they have the hanging cups. So we're going to see how to color those. Isn't that awesome? And I mentioned to you on one of my last videos when I did the flip through in the Ava Brown coloring book, I told you guys, hey, look at that. She has, or they have the picture here, the bowl, the plates, the pans. I have all of that I'm going to show you how to color those or how I usually color those with my simple and easy methods. Now we can jump right into it. Now what I will be needing today is, of course, my interactive coloring page and my color chart. My handy dandy color chart that I absolutely cannot live without is always needed. And my Prismacolor pencils, of course. We will be using different types of pencils on different tutorials at times. We will use our Castle Art pencils, our Crayola pencils, our Shuttle Art pencils. We're going to be just doing the most on this channel this year. All right, but we're going to start out with our Prismacolor pencils. So we're not going to do all of these images, no worries. We're only going to do some of them, and then we will save the rest of them, or a couple of them each video. We'll have it in sections and different parts so that we can kind of stick to a theme. So the first thing we're going to color, let's see. What should be the first thing we color, guys? There seem to be a lot of cups and bowls going on these days. I think we're going to start up here. We're going to start here on this row with the bowls and the teacups here and the pitcher. I think we'll do these 4 images in this square right here. How about that? Does that sound like it'll work? Okay, let's do that. Let me zoom you in. So you can get a better idea of what is really going on. Okay, guys, so I'm going to take you through my entire coloring process. So what I do for my coloring pages, how I choose colors, is I look at the coloring page and I think about how I want everything to look. I think of that. I look at that blank page, that blank room, and I then make a color palette up in my head, and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, the dishes, I kind of want those to be a certain color. I want them to match the tablecloth, or I want the walls to be brown, and so that means I want the dishes to pop out. I want them to be red, and that's how I kind of go through picking my colors. But we're going to go through that in another video. Comment below if you're interested in seeing what is my coloring process. Take you step by step how I think when I'm in a coloring page deciding what colors to use. Okay? Will that be something you guys are interested in? Comment below and let me know. So we don't really have to worry about color selection in these demonstrations or in these examples. We're just going to do something basic. So we're going to color them in a color that's not too outrageous, because that may not fit in your, color scheme of your picture. So let's do them in a color that's kind of subtle. First and foremost, let's start off with this silverware. We want to do that, and that's going to be super, super easy because we're going to use, should we use the cool grays? Yes, of course, we're going to use the cool grays. Okay, so we are going to start off with the cool gray 50. And that's PC 1063. Okay, and I'm looking to see, is it sharp enough? No, it is not sharp enough. Let's use this Staedtler metal 2-hole sharpener to sharpen that good puppy there. Puppy. I always talk about puppies. Call everything puppies. So what I'm doing here is I am, where I have my little highlight, or not highlight, my little shiny area. That's not what it's called. Okay, let's just backtrack. We are outlining the entire spoon first. And because it's so little, we don't have to do a lot of shading, just a small amount. So I'm going to try to be light-handed, going around, because I want to keep a lot of this spoon light. Like the color, I don't want it to get too dark. We're only going to use 2 colors on this spoon. So we have our 50% gray that we've used. Now let's go to our, let's see, do I want the 20 or the 10? I think we're going to do the 10. Let's just go all the way cool. And I think my 10 needs a little sharpening also, just a little bit. Now I did it a little bit and I still got a really sharp point. And guys, remember what I told you. A lot of colorists will tell you that you need a sharp point on your Prismacolor pencils. Okay, yes, that is true for the most part. You do need a sharp point to get in little areas like this, but make sure that sharp point is not exposing a lot of your lead. Make sure you're using a pencil sharpener that only exposes a small amount. This will help you in breakage. This will help you to preserve your Prismacolor pencils longer. And this will help you to be able to still get in those tiny areas and not have to worry about your pencil lead snapping every 2 seconds because you're a medium to heavy pressure handed person. So just remember that, guys. Okay, so now we're going to lightly go over all of the area that we colored of the spoon. Just go over that whole entire area. And that's it. We're done. Look at that. We have our spoon. It's done, guys. All right, let's do that same thing with our fork. And I think I want you a little bit closer. Because I want for you to see it all. All right, so we're going to do that same thing. And because this fork is just so like mushed up together, we're going to just barely, we're not even going to do like, we're just going to outline half of it. How about that? And then we'll take our 10% cool gray and go over where we outline on that left side. And just color that whole thing. All right, that is it. There is your fork. Now let's do the same thing for the knife. Kind of outline it. And we're going to leave like this center section here. We're going to leave that like clear, not clear, but uncolored, so that we can have a little bit of a highlight. Then we're going to take our 10% gray, cool gray, and go over the whole thing. Now, if you really want to go even further with this, you can get you a white gel pen, and you can just, why did I even get this jelly roll out like it was going to do anything for me? I don't know. I don't know why I keep trying to give this jelly roll a chance with these Prismacolors, because yeah, that's not working. Okay, but the jelly rolls work wonderfully on black paper, just saying. Okay, moving on. So if you had a white gel pen that worked with your Prismas, which my Uniball Signal does, but I don't want to pull it out. I probably will pull it out in a minute, but not for these silverware options, not for this flatware, okay? We'll pull it out later for the bowl or something. All right, guys, so that's your flatware or your silverware. Okay, guys, we are about to move to these bowls. So let's see what color would be a nice neutral color for these bowls. I think we will go with something like, we'll do two different colors since there's two bowls here. First, we'll do, let's see, peach beige and beige sienna will be my two darkest colors. So let me find those. Okay, so we have our darkest color is going to be this beige sienna PC 1080, and we'll do the top bowl that color. All right, you ready? Let's go. So what we're going to do is have medium to kind of heavy pressure like so on this outer side of this bowl. And then we're going to do lighter pressure. Okay. Now you would want to, because this bowl is kind of inside of this other bowl, you want this area here to be darker. So let's do kind of a darker, heavier hand right there. And then we want to leave that middle part as like a highlight. So we're going to barely touch that part. All right, let's take our next color, which is our peach beige, PC 1085. And we're going to go over the whole thing and still leaving just a little bit of white area, white of the paper, like kind of in the center. And then we're going to take our white pencil and color in that center area. Now, I would like to tell you always, if you don't ever leave parts of your coloring page uncolored or untouched by pencil. For example, if I would have left that white spot or so-called utilized the white of the paper or something, if I would have left that spot white, you know, without any type of color pencil on it, if I wanted to go back in and do a background or put some type of pastel on my page, that part, if the pastel dust touches that part, it will get that color on this object. And you don't want to have to go back and erase it and recolor it and do all this stuff. But when you apply your white pencil or whatever other color pencil where you can color that whole image with wax pencil or with any kind of pencil, oil base, that pencil that you laid down, that pencil color is going to resist any type of dust or pastel or chalk that you put on the rest of your page. That's why I always don't leave any paper showing on my coloring. I don't leave any white. If I want something to be white, I'll use my white pencil, especially my Prismacolor pencil. Sometimes when I use my Prismacolor pencil, I have to go back in and add a little more color to it. But I always pretty much use pastels as a background, or either I use my pastels for a large area, and they have always gotten on the different areas. And if I haven't put pencil there, it's ruined. You know, I would have to go back in and recolor that object. But to be protected, always finish your piece, finish whatever you want to color with color pencils, cover it with pencil work, and then you can go in and comfortably put your pastels on there and you can dust it off and it will not get on your image that you colored, okay? It will just resist it and you will be just fine. So remember that tip. Never leave your white showing. Always use something to color that in with so that it will be protected, okay? Just a little quick tip. All right, so now we're going to do the inside of that bowl. Now we know that this portion will probably be darker because that's the inside. So we'll do kind of heavy-handed on this part right here. Then we'll get lighter-handed as we go up further. And we're going to go around with a little bit lighter hand. And then we're going to take our second color, our peach beige, and go over what we just colored. And then we're going to take our white pencil and color our highlight. And what I'm going to do here to add even more depth to this image, I'm going to take my dark brown Prismacolor PC 940, and I'm going to kind of outline the bottom of that bowl there, and I'm going to very lightly make that shadow around that bowl at the bottom, very, very lightly, so that you can know, hey, this is the inside of this bowl. And then I'm going to kind of go around the rim at the top with that brown. Let's see, what else do I want to do? I think that's it. Now I want to take that brown and outline it right here and here. And give this part here a little bit of a light brown. Well, not light brown, it's dark brown. Just giving it a little bit more texture. A little bit more shadow and shading. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect, guys. Let's see if I can put it up closer. There you go. All right, so we have done that. And while we have these two out here, let's go ahead and do one of these coffee cups in the exact same colors. All right, so let's take our darkest color. Let's do this top coffee cup, and we're going to go around with the beige sienna with a kind of heavy hand at the bottom here. And then we're going to do like half of the rim or the handle. So we're going to do all that with beige sienna. And then we're going to get very light-handed when we're coming up. Then we're going to take our peach beige and go up even further and go around the top, all the way around, covering everything that we've already colored. Now we're going to get our white pencil and we're going to color in that white area that we had right there. And as for that other part of the handle, let's take our peach beige and color the other side, other end of that handle. Now let's get our dark brown out and color at the bottom so we can make us a little bit of a shadow. And over here on the side, just a little bit. Then we're going to outline this little area right here, just a little bit. Just to make it look good. All right, let's take our beige sienna and kind of blend that dark brown in just a little bit. And let's get our lighter color, the peach beige, and shade that in even further. And let's get our white pencil and just do in the middle, go in the middle, give it just a little bit of something. I think that's it. That's it, guys, for that. That's it for that. All right. So we have that done. Let's work on our next one. All right. So our next one that we're going to work on is the bottom bowl and the bottom cup. So I think we are going to make those. I think we want Celadon Green PC 1020. Let's find that one. Okay, I have that one. That'll be our darkest color. And should we have a second color? Let's see. I think we're going to do like two totally different colors. Let's see if we can do the two totally different color aspect. Let's hope this works. I think it'll work. Let's try putty beige and let's see what happens with that method. All right, here we go, guys. So the inside of that bowl is going to be our darkest color. So we're just going to straight color the inside of that bowl. All right, got it. Now the outside, we're going to have medium pressure and kind of jaggedly color. And like when you're doing medium pressure, let your hand start to get lighter pressure as you go inward, okay? So we're going to do the same thing over here. I'm starting with hard pressure. Now that's all the hard pressure I want on that side, just that little tiny bit of covering. Now let's do light pressure, light as we can, because we're coming back in with another color. Now I do want to put this color here at the top pretty heavy, and at the bottom, because I want you to know, hey, that is a shadow. Okay, now let's take our putty beige and go over that middle area lightly. Leave a little bit of white. And let's take our white pencil and go over the white area and that putty beige area. All right. I think I kind of like that effect. Let me put it up closer so you can see what it did. Do you see that, guys? What do you think about that? I think I need a little more of my jade green. No, that's celadon green. I'm sorry, PC 1020. I want a little bit more on this edge, on both the edges. Just a little bit. And I actually do want a darker color to really give it some texture. So let's see, which darker color do I want to use? I'm trying to decide which color is as close to that celadon green. You know what? Let's try artichoke. It's not as close to the celadon green, but it may give us the shadow that we want. So I did a little bit here inside of in the inside of the bowl, just like half of it. And now I'm going to go over, let's see, I'm going to go on the top section and the bottom. Okay. Now let's go over that with the celadon green again to kind of blend it all in. Okay, I think that brought a nice pop of color. Perfect pop of color. Now what I usually would do is take my black pencil and kind of crisp up, as I like to say, the lines. Always have your black pencil very sharp, and you just go over all the lines, because once you color the Prismacolor, color with the Prismacolor pencils, it kind of makes your line art kind of, what's the word? Cloudy looking? Yeah, that's the word. Okay. All right. I think that is that, guys. But what I do want to do is get the white gel pen, the one that'll work with Prismacolors, which is my Uniball Signo. And let's put a little bit of a highlight on this bowl. We're going to put one right here in this corner. And a little dot. And then we're going to put one on this corner. There we have it. And let's see, should we put one up here too? Yeah, put one up there. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And if you're like, let me show you closer. If you're not happy, like I'm not happy with the way that that looks right there, I want that to be sharper. All you have to do is take like a blender pencil. Like I have, let's see, I have a Prismacolor blender pencil up here. Make sure it's clean. You don't want it to be dirty like mine's is. So let me sharpen it or either clean it off. Take that blender pencil and just go over the area that you want to kind of cut off, so to speak. And look at the difference that it made. See that? And I think I'm going to do that bottom one too, because that line looks a little bit too wide and weird. There, that's perfect, guys. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's it. So that's a 2-in-1 tip, guys. You know how we do it. That 2-in-1 Dollar Diva discount. Okay, so guys, let's do this bottom coffee cup and coffee plate with the same colors that we used for this bowl up here. So we're getting our celadon green. Let's do the top of the handle. Let's do the bottom of the handle with a kind of heavy hand. Don't have to worry about blending. Let's do the plate. On the side, you're going to have a heavy hand. Then as you come toward the center, you're going to get lighter with your pressure. Do the same on the other side. Get lighter with your pressure. All right. Now let's get our, what color is this? Putty beige. And go over that celadon green. Leave a little bit of white in the middle so that you can add the white pencil. All right. So I think I want to put a little more putty beige on top of that. That's good. That's perfect. I'm not even going to add my, yes, I am. I'm going to add a little bit of the artichoke to the side here and to this side. And that gave it like a three-dimensional kind of color. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so while I'm working on that, let me do the rest of this handle. You take your putty beige and color over the entire handle. Okay, then it's not quite blended enough like I would like it. So I'm going to lightly go back over that very light-handedly with my celadon green. There we go. That's perfect. All right, let's get to this cup here, guys. So on this side, you're going to color pretty heavy-handed. And you see how it's kind of got like a circular shape? That's going to add that dimension. Do the same to the other side. Make it like a C shape. Do the whole top half. All right. And we're going to do this bottom too, because that's going to have like a shadow. All right. Once you do that, do a really light pressure going towards the center with that same pencil. Now let's take our putty beige and go over that celadon green and go towards the center. And leave like a little bit of white so that you can come back and just color in that white area with your Prismacolor pencil. All right, so I'm going to take my celadon green again, PC 1020, and go over the edges one more time. So I guess I'm kind of like a 2 or 3 layer person. I actually do try to build up my color a little bit. Now let's get the putty beige and go around in the circle of life. All right, so now I'm going to take my artichoke and I'm going to just kind of trace on that outside, on the bottom, on that side, and on the top. Because I want you to know that that is like a curve. That's where a shadow is going to be. Now let's get my celadon green again and kind of go over that artichoke so it can kind of blend in, so it won't be so stark. Let's take that artichoke and do the same thing for our handle. Okay. All right. I think I'm happy with that, guys. What about you? Are you happy with yours? Let's get our black pencil and get those lines that the Prismacolor made kind of cloudy. Let's get those back together. Okay. All right, guys. I think I want the line here too. Yes. And I don't like that white part right there. So I want a little bit of color right there. That is done. Let me give you a close-up. All right, let's add some highlights with our white gel pen on this side. Do a little curve. Wait a minute, gel pen. Don't you embarrass me. What is you? I tell you, these art supplies, they get to having a mind of their own, and then they embarrass you. Just like a kid. Now it's acting right because I was talking about it. I was about to not throw it in the air, but I was about to just swap it out for something else because it was not performing right and it was acting up. So it started to act right. So you see those lines? Let me put it close to you. Those lines are, at least the one on the bottom, is like too wide for me. So the way I will fix that is take my Prismacolor colorless blender or any other blender and lightly just kind of scratch that color off, that white off, until I get something thinner like that. Should I do the top like that too? Yeah. Okay. I think I kind of overdid it. But that, and then it ended up with just a little dot up there. Okay, that'll work. That's it. What do you think, guys? I think that's it. I think that's right. We have our flatware. I feel so elegant saying flatware. We have our flatware or our silverware. I sound like some type of like precious queen, or you know, the ritzy lady that has the tea parties. So we have our bowls in those two very muted pastel colors. Can you believe I didn't do a bowl outlandish color like red and orange? Can you just believe it, guys? Okay, this picture, not picture, this picture. We are going to do this picture here, and what color shall we make that? Or should we make it a glass pitcher? I don't think we're going to make it a glass pitcher. I think we are going to make it a colored pitcher, and we're going to choose jade green. No, we're not. We're going to choose, because jade green is too close to the celadon green, or whatever color that is. We are going to do light green. Should we or should we not? Light green? No. Okay, guys, no. No, let's do burnt ochre. That'll be pretty. Okay, burnt ochre, where are you? PC 943, burnt ochre. And we're not going to sharpen this lead. That's enough lead for me. You do not, pro tip, you do not need to sharpen your Prismacolor every time you take it out of the pencil case. If it has, I only sharpen my pencils when I have to get in a small place or a small space. If I'm doing like a larger area like this, I'm not sharpening my pencil. It does not need to be sharp. Why? It's just wasting my pencil. I'm just being wasteful. Okay, moving on. Burnt ochre PC 943 on both edges of the handle. Heavy-handed kind of, then get light-handed, very light-handed, closer towards the middle and leave that middle white. Let's do the same thing like we did on our other dishes. We're going to kind of outline this whole picture. And this time I'm using kind of circular strokes. Let's do that top right there. Now we have our outline. Now let's go in the intersection with a lighter hand. Go as light-handed as you possibly can. My light hand is actually medium pressure because I don't think I'm even capable of being light-handed. I don't think that's even in my vocabulary, my coloring vocabulary that my hand listens to. I say light-handed and my hand is like, what is that? We don't understand. We don't compute. Okay, so the next color, I always look at my color chart to see what two colors coincide together to make the best blend. And I already see the terracotta is going to be my dark color that I kind of do what I did with the artichoke. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out because I know I'm going to have to use it. But I need to figure out what's the lighter color that I would like to use. That can go very nicely on that inner side. I think I will try a mineral orange. I know that's like way off course or like way out there. You're like, Nisi, really? You're gonna put that orange with that, what is that? What is that I just used? Burnt ochre? Yes, I am. Because we're adding dimension to this thing, guys. I'm not going over the whole thing with the orange. I'm just going over that section that I did light-handedly. Okay. I think I will go over the whole thing light-handedly so that it can blend seamlessly together better. And I'm also going to do my handle light-handed, going up with that orange and just leaving a little space of white. All right, let's take our white pencil, do that handle. Yes, let's take our white pencil and we're going to pull, watch how we pull the color with our white pencil. Make sure your white pencil is clean, but we're going to go like this, just in the middle, because we don't want that white pencil to make our colors like diminish. So you see what that white pencil did? It didn't quite, you know, stay completely white, but it pulled that color out like we wanted it to. So I want some more of this burnt ochre in here. So I'm going around the edges a little bit more heavy-handedly. And I'm going to do the same for out here on this handle. Now let's get our mineral orange and go over what I just colored and going toward the center a little bit lighter handed. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, baby. All right. That's perfect. Now I want to take that white pencil and that's perfect, guys. That's it. That is it. Now I'm going to take my terracotta and I want to kind of just outline a few things instead of outlining it with the black maybe. Oh yes, that's exactly what I want. We're outlining. Outlining. That is it. And I think, what do I want to do right here? I think I want to take this black pencil. I should have drawn that spout out a little bit further. That's what I should have done. But I did not. I was trying to see, it was looking a little flat to me. So I was trying to do a little something, but we're going to leave that alone. We don't want to mess up what we already have going on. Okay, guys, that is that. Let's take our white gel pen. Now, gel pen, Mr. Uni, act right now. Act right. And let's put a little, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Mr. Gel Pen. Mr. Gel Pen. Look, I'm not playing with you. There we go. So you have to threaten these art supplies. Once you threaten them, they're fine. I'm going to put you up if you don't act right. So you see that line is just a little bit, it's not thin enough for me. So I'm going to take my blender and kind of just swipe it a little bit. Just swipe it, just very barely touch it. And you have your line that you like better. I feel I need something somewhere else. Like I feel I need, I think I need something here. Just a tiny line maybe. Yeah, that's it. That's what I want. That's what I want. But I need to get my blender, make it a little bit better. That's it, guys. You want to see it up close? There we go. What do you think? I think that is it, guys. That is number one it. All right, so we have one more item for this one. We've already done a glass before on the other video. So should we do this pan here? Should we, guys? What do you think? We've never done a pan. So yes, we're going to do the pan. Look at there. I heard you. I heard you through YouTube land. All right. So you know we have to go with the grays. So we're going to choose the warm grays this time. Okay, so we are going to start with our 50% warm gray, PC 1054. And what we're going to do, let's start on this outer rim, or the outer pot, not the outer rim. Well, I guess we could do the rim. No, we're going to start in the biggest area. Do the same method that we did with the bowls. And do your corners with a kind of heavy hand. And then go inside toward the middle with a much lighter hand. Let's do the same thing over here. Much lighter. Okay. Now let's take our warm gray, our 20% warm gray, PC 1051. And let's go over that whole thing, over that whole area. And then we're going to go inward with a very much lighter hand toward the center. Much lighter. All right. Now you can take your white pencil and clean it off. Where's my scratch paper? My scratch paper has just disappeared. Take your scratch paper and clean that white pencil off. Make sure it is clean because it had orange on it. And let's go over that entire middle section, almost all the way out with our white. Okay. Now let's go back to our 50% warm gray and have a lighter hand and go over that and the top and the bottom. Very light hand, guys, very light hand. Kind of go over that whole thing because we're trying to get a more seamless blend. Very light. You see, I'm barely putting color on the page. Now let's get that 20% warm gray and lightly go over the whole area. And the reason I'm going over that whole area is because the white pencil, once it's down, wherever you put it, it actually will make whatever you put on top of it even lighter. So that's why we are going over it again. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to take the 70% warm gray. 70% warm gray. And we're going to do this outer rim part. Just kind of straight color it. Straight color. And actually, since this top part is a little bit bigger, I'm not going to straight color that. You know what? This part right here, I want to leave this section here a white for a highlight. So I'm going to start with this darker color right here and be a little bit lighter handed. And I want to highlight to be right here also. So now get your 50% warm gray and be light handed. Just to do a little taste because you want to make sure that that highlight is still showing. Now let's get our 20% and color over the whole thing of the rim. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Exactly. Now let's work on the intersection of the pot. And let's work on this outside, this upper part first. We want to get our 50% warm gray, be light-handed, no heavy hand on this one. Okay, because we actually want a different type of kind of color or texture. We want to make sure everyone knows that that's the inside of this pot. We don't want them to get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Now take your 20% warm gray, go over everything you have, went with the other pencil that I just had, and lightly go over that. Very lightly, very lightly. Leave a little bit of a highlight. Get your white pencil. You don't have to worry about cleaning it off. And go over that white area in the inside. Now to make it a little bit more cohesive, get that warm, 20% warm gray, and lightly color the whole thing. Lightly color the whole thing. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now let's get our 70% warm gray and let's kind of outline right here because I want you to know, I want the person that's looking at this picture to know for sure that that's a different section. That's not the same area that we've been looking at the whole time before. Yeah. Now, what we're going to do is do the inner part. Let's take our, you know what? No, I want to use the least number of pencils as I can. Let's get our 50%. I was going to go to the 30% warm gray, but I don't want you to have to use too many pencils. But if I was doing this like on my own, I would have tried that 30%. But we're not going to do that today, okay? Let's take this 50% warm gray and let's super, super, super light-handed. If my hand doesn't know light-handed, then it better learn, because we need this intersection to look very, very different. So actually, let's go ahead and take this warm gray and go ahead and outline this section here. Okay, you see what I just did? All right, that's good enough. Very light. Okay, now let's take our 20% warm gray. Very lightly go over that whole thing. Just leave a little bitty circle. Just a little bitty circle of white. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. Now let's get our white pencil and color that middle section. Okay. Now we're going to take our warm gray again. Not warm gray, that's all we're using is warm gray. You see, 50% warm gray. I want a little bit more color on that bottom part and on the sides, on the corners, just a little bit more darkness, signifying more of a shadow. All right, let's get that 20% back out here and kind of go over that lightly. All right. Okay. I think these edges need to be darkened up more, because I'm not feeling that there's enough dimension in this inside of this pot. So let's take our 50% and do a little bit more of a heavy hand just on those edges, just on those edges. Just on the edges, guys. Let's go a little bit further out. A little bit further out over here. Yeah, I think that's looking better. Now let's get our 20% and blend that in just a little bit. Don't go on top of it, just go on that little edge that you stopped with the color of the darker 50% warm gray. Just don't go on top of it, because I want that to be dark. Now let's take our black pencil and trace the inside line. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. And let's take that black pencil and kind of trace right here also, because it wasn't enough dimension. Let's trace up here. It just wasn't enough dimension. Let's trace that whole thing. Yeah. All right. Let's trace the bottom of this too, because it's looking a little wonky. Look like it needs a little bit of line crispiage. Yes, I just made that up. Line crispiage. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. Now let's do this handle. This handle is going to be, let's take the 70% warm gray and color this edge here. And let's actually just trace this whole thing. And I think I'm going to take my black pencil and trace the inside of that little hole in the handle. Yeah. Now let's get our 50% warm gray and try to be kind of light-handed, because since we have such a small area, We can't put too much dimension to it. So I want as much highlight on this as possible. See, I left this part like white. Now let's come in with our 20% warm gray and be kind of light-handed. Go up there with it. Light hand, light hand, light hand. All right. Let's see, what are we missing? What are we missing? Let's get this 70% gray. And do nothing with it. Oh, let's get our 50% back. That's what I want. And let's kind of just light-handedly, kind of seamlessly make everything just very light-handed now. Make everything kind of just a little bit more cohesive. You know what? Let me get my white pencil and do that middle part instead of that cool gray. Now I'll get the cool gray. Not cool gray, I'm sorry guys. 20% warm gray, 20%. And go over where I put that white pencil. Yes, that is it guys. Now all we have left to do for this pot is add a little bit of gel pen right here. And where? Right here. And that looks a little messy. I probably should just find a very fine tip, a finer tip gel pen or something. But you know, the jelly roll won't act right. And I think it's a little bit finer. But that's okay. That is okay, jelly roll. We don't need you. We are doing just fine. Okay, I think that's it. I think I want another little bitty dot right here. Yeah, that's that. Okay, what are we missing? What are we missing? What do you think, guys? I think that'll work. Okay. Guys, we're done. We're done. What do you think? I think we both did a pretty good job together. Congratulations, guys. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget, you can get your copy of this interactive tutorial coloring page. You can get your copy on the Facebook group that's down in the description below. We would love to have you over there with us because there are a lot of fun things that's going on over there. We will be doing a lot of color alongs, and there's a very big announcement that's coming up very soon about the activities that we're going to have over there. So guys, run on over there. Get your copy so that you can color along with me, and we will be doing the rest of these items on another video. So let me zoom you out a little bit more. So guys, vote or comment below which item that you would like to see colored next on this page. Would you like to see the hanging cups, the teapot, the standing dishes, the regular stack of dishes, the tray, the fruit tray, fruit and cookie tray, the candy jar? That doesn't look like cookies, so it's going to be a candy jar. I tried to make some little mini cookies, but that didn't work. It's going to be bubble gum, okay? All right, the cake stand, the like cookie jar that you can't see through, pots, teacup, tall glass. What do you want to see next? And whatever comment gets the most votes, we will do that one next, okay? So again, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy videos like these, please hit that like button. I'll know to keep making them. Also, guys, please consider subscribing if you haven't already subscribed. I would really love for you to join the Dollar Diva family so that we can be here together always. Yes, guys. And don't forget to ring that bell, guys, so that you will not miss the next video from the Dollar Diva. Don't miss out, guys. Ring that bell. All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And as always, happy coloring. Bye.